Okay, hi everyone. My name is Elyse Aucoin, and today I am here on behalf of the Yoga and Meditation Clubs, partnering with Thrive in their Thriving Together series to bring you a quick asana practice as well as a meditation afterwards, or a shavasana afterwards. So my name is Elyse Aucoin, for everyone who doesn't know me. I'm a fourth-year intern, and I'm actually a certified yoga instructor as well. And I've been part of the CCNM yoga clubs and meditation clubs this will be my third year going forward. I'm so sorry that we couldn't be together in a live session, but hopefully this will be the beginning of a really good kind of like friendship and consolidation of all of the different clubs and organizations working with Thrive. And then also hopefully, depending on how this goes, we can start some of those live sessions with students as well. For those of you who know me, it's nice to see you again, and I'm happy to share this practice with you. And for those of you who don't or who are new to CCNM, welcome to the CCNM community, and I'm so grateful that you're here and that you're joining us, and hopefully we'll get to do some yoga together this year going forward as well. So today's practice is for beginners, intermediates, advanced, anyone who wants a yoga practice can be a part of this one. And I just wanted to let you know that there shouldn't be any pain in yoga. So if anything doesn't feel quite right, you can always return to a child's pose or do a variation of the posture. So please don't overstretch or make yourself in pain. That's not the point of yoga. And yeah, just go at your own speed and go with how your body is feeling today. Yeah, so I really want everyone to really enjoy this practice and feel the beginning of everything. So I hope you can hear me. I'm going to be standing a little bit further back on my mat, so I'm going to try to project my voice. But if that's not working for you, you can always throw on some music and then just follow along with the postures. We're going to do a little bit of a slower hatha practice today and really just focus on good posture setups and also really good positioning to really get the most out of those postures today. So yeah, I am ready to start. So if you'll join me on your mat. Okay, so today we're going to start in a seated position, however you feel most comfortable. I'm also going to throw my hair back. So feel free to let your eyes shut and slowly pay more attention to your breath. Focusing on the deep inhales and deep exhales. Allowing air to fill up in your stomach, going through the nose, through the throat, and deep into the belly, and then exhaling from the belly, back up through the throat and out the nose. One last deep inhale, and one last deep exhale. On the next exhale, you can drift the right ear to the right shoulder. Feeling a gentle stretch in the neck. Exhaling the chin down to the chest in the center. And inhaling the left ear to the left side. Exhaling down to the center. And inhaling the right ear to the right side. Continuing with the rhythm of your own breathing. Inhales and exhales. After your final round, meeting in the middle and returning to neutral. The eyes come open, and we're going to inhale the arms all the way up, looking to the ceiling and stretching that spine vertically. On the next exhale, we twist to the right. The left arm can come in front of us or to the right knee, and the right arm supports on the back along our spine. We inhale and reach further up, and we exhale and twist to the right. Inhale, rise. Exhale, twist. On the next inhale, we rise back to neutral. And on the next exhale, we twist to the left. Now the right arm can come in the center or to the left knee, and the left arm again comes back and supports the spine. We inhale, rise. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, rise. Exhale, deepening the twist. Inhaling both arms to center. We're going to exhale and drop the right arm. Inhale, reach very tall, and exhale, small bend to that right side. Inhaling both arms up, stretching. Exhale, we drop the left arm and reach, bending towards that left side. Inhaling both arms up one last time, stretching up to the ceiling, and exhaling both arms to the heart center. Thank you so much for being a part of this practice. And remember, you can always return to child's pose or do any type of variation to the posture to make it more comfortable and suit your needs more. No one knows your body better than you do, especially through some type of virtual yoga session. So please be careful and only stretch what your body allows you to today. Okay, so now we're going to switch and shift onto our hands and our knees. And we're going to place a large emphasis on joint stacking. So what that means is that my hands are directly under my shoulders and my knees are directly under my hips. We're going to have a flat, neutral spine to begin with. And deep breath in and out. Now we're going to flow through some cat-cows. So we drop the stomach, we raise the chest forward into our cow, and then we're going to exhale and round the spine, tip the tailbone under, and really push the ground away into our cat. With your breath, you can flow between both postures at whatever pace you like and whatever pace feels comfortable for you today. We're focusing on really warming up the spine. Coming back to a neutral spine, we're going to join our feet and slightly widen the knees and push back into our first child's pose. The forehead can come in contact with the ground and the arms remain outstretched. Inhaling back up to table. Now, a variation is either to continue doing the cat-cows and stretching the spine, or we can come to a neutral spine, raise the right foot back, and also raise the left arm forward. And taking pause in the middle. Exhaling down, we can now switch sides and raising the left foot back and the right arm forward. And really stretching out. Exhaling back down to the ground. Okay, now that we're all moving back into this neutral table position, we're slowly going to curl the toes under and then lift slightly, holding the abs in place for just a second, and then lifting the hips all the way back into our first down dog position. Now the first down dog is always the most stiff for me, so I really like to take a wide bend in the knees and pedal out my feet. You can also shift the hips from side to side, really warming up the body. As this is my first yoga practice of the day as well, you'll really get to see the difference in the hamstring tightness throughout the practice, and also the feeling of how these change in your body the further into the practice we go. Okay, on your next inhale, you can slowly walk the hands to the top of the mat to meet your feet. And now we're going to do our first forward fold. So take as big of a bend in the knees as you need, and just really let your head hang. We can either let the arms hang as well, or you can grab your elbows. Feel free to add some movement and maybe sway from side to side, or just ragdoll and hang. On the next inhale, we're going to slowly rise, really protecting the spine, going slowly, and inhaling the arms all the way up. Big stretch. And exhaling to our first mountain pose. Now we're going to begin some of the sun salutations of our practice. I'm sorry, I think my video was going to cut off my arms. So I'm not doing anything special with my arms, just normal sun salutations. So on the next inhale, we're going to inhale, rise our arms up all the way, looking towards the ceiling, stretching up. On the exhale, we're going to go into a forward fold. Again, taking as large a bend in the knee as you want, just to make the pose more comfortable. We're going to inhale into a flat back. Your hands can be on your thighs, on your shins, or on the floor, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Just maintaining that flat back shape. And on the exhale, we're going to walk the hands down the mat into a high plank. Again, joint stacking, making sure the hands are under the shoulders. We're going to inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to drop the knees and and then slowly lower our chest to the mat. We're going to inhale and plant the tops of the feet into the mat and slowly rise up, not putting any pressure in the hands, and the chest comes forward. Baby cobra. Exhaling the hands to the mat. We flow through the tabletop. And then again, curl the toes and lift up into another downward facing dog. Again, I like to pedal out the feet, making some movement in my body and still warming up because we're still at the beginning of our practice today. Making sure my fingers are spread really wide and making tons of contact with the mat. On the next inhale, I slowly inch my feet towards my hands, coming back to a flat back. And I exhale into another forward fold. I inhale and rise all the way up and exhale to mountain. On my next inhale, I sweep the arms up, and on my exhale, I forward fold, making sure that I'm swan diving down and hinging from the hips. Again, letting yourself hang. Inhale to a flat back. And exhale, we're going to drop the hands and step the feet back to a high plank. Option to drop the knees and lower slowly, or push up onto the tiptoes and exhale, holding and inhaling into an upward facing dog. We go over the toes or float your table and end together in downward facing dog. And again, walking the hands back up to the feet into a flat back. Exhaling down to a forward fold. And inhaling all the way up. Stretching and releasing to mountain. Okay, next we're going to inhale, arms up. And then on our exhale, we're going to slowly bend the knees. We're going to make sure that our navel is still tucked in. Our knees are equally spaced, hip width distance apart. And we find a point to watch. Focusing on the inhales and the exhales. From chair, we can bring the hands to the hips and then focus on hinging from the hips as we straighten the knees and hinge forward back into a forward fold. Inhaling to flat back. And exhaling, we're going to walk the hands back to high plank. Again, option to drop the knees and lower to baby cobra. Go up on the tippy toes and chaturanga. To upward facing dog. From upward facing dog, we're going to roll over the toes, back to a downward facing dog. Can you already feel the difference with your downward facing dogs and your hamstring tightness? From here, we're going to plant the left foot and raise the right foot into three-legged dog. Feel free to do any variations, such as bending the knee, or pointing the toe and going higher, or maintaining the three-legged dog. On the exhale, we bring the knee to your nose and plant the foot between the hands. On the next inhale, we take the right hand and bring it up to the sky. On the exhale, we bring it down and we drop the back knee. Inhale, hands can come to the knee. Or option to outstretch the hands up. Another variation is to take a micro bend in the back and look towards the ceiling. Exhaling the hands back to the ground. We pop up on the back foot and replace the foot back to high plank. From high plank, we again chaturanga or drop to the knees in baby cobra. Flow to upward facing. And over the toes to downward facing dog. From here, we begin on the other side. We plant our three, and we raise the right foot back, or the left foot back. Again, option to do variations, such as bend the knee, to open the hips a little bit wider. You can point the toe and straighten, or we can maintain the three-legged dog. On the exhale, we bring the knee to the nose and drop the foot between the hands. You can take some time to really feel out the hands and get your stability. On the next inhale, we take the left hand and we raise it straight up to the sky. Exhaling down, holding, and then dropping the back knee. We can take a second to find our balance. And then option to bring both hands to the knee. Making sure that the knee makes a right angle and is also in line with the foot and the ankle. Option to raise the arms and take a micro bend in the back. Exhaling the hands back down. We pop up the back leg and we return to high plank. From high plank, we can take the variation. So you can always drop the knees and lower, or do the full shavasana. Inhaling to baby cobra or up dog. And then dropping the hands, flowing through, back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we're going to drop the knees back to table. And then widen the knees and pull back to child's pose. Really taking some time in child's pose to collect the breath, assess the body, and really feel where you're at, how your muscles are feeling, how your joints are feeling, and really connecting with that breath. For the rest of the practice, we really want to focus on moving in line with our breath. Slowing down back into those deep inhales and deep exhales. From child's pose, returning to table. Curling the toes, and rising back up to downward facing dog. We slowly step the feet back to the hands, coming to a flat back. We exhale it down to a forward fold. We inhale and rise back up. Hands all the way stretching towards the ceiling. And again, we bend the knees, look forward, making sure our knees are hip width distance. Our navel is pulled in, and we sink into our chair. Option to keep the hands high or to bring them to your heart center. Inhaling up, we straighten the knees, and exhaling back to mountain. We inhale and sweep the arms up. And as we exhale, we swan dive down to a forward fold. Feel free to stay in a normal fold, to really take a big bend in the knees. Or you can wrap your peace fingers around your big toe. The thumb comes to the toenail. The arms and elbows are outstretched wide. And on the inhales, you slowly pull yourself closer to the mat. And on the exhales, you relax. Inhaling to a flat back. Exhaling, we're going to drop the hands to the mat and step back again to a high plank. Option to baby cobra and drop to the knees, or shavasana. Shavasana, oh my gosh, chaturanga to upward facing dog. It's strange not having people to laugh when I do these things. I'll just imagine that we're all laughing together. And just going over the toes, back to downward facing dog. Inhaling the right foot and exhaling it again to the nose and then through between the hands. This time, we're going to drop the back foot, specifically the back heel, and we're going to cartwheel the hands up and to the side. Oh no, now you can't hear me. Okay, I'm very slowly just going to do the side. Okay, so our back ankle is in line with our front ankle. Our hips are pointed towards the side of the room, and our arms are outstretched to the side. We have a bend in the front knee that makes an angle, and we gaze over the middle finger of our front arm. And we take some nice deep breaths. Option to stay in this warrior pose, or we can drop the front elbow and raise the back arm into a side angle, making sure that there's a nice straight line from my fingertips all the way down to my foot. Side angle. We can inhale back through warrior, and then exhale, the back arm can drop, and the front arm palm flips up. We raise it to the sky. Some people call this exalted warrior. I've also heard it called dancing warrior, happy warrior. Whatever you feel like calling it, we are doing it. And then exhaling through center again. Great. Now, from here, we're going to cartwheel the hands back down. But for continuity, I am going to switch back to my original side. So we cartwheeled the hands back down, and now we're back to our runners. We're going to drop the back knee, and then slowly shift the hips back as well, stretching our front hamstring. So if we need to be all the way up here, that's completely fine. If you need a slight bend in the knee, that's also a great variation. If you can do the full, and you want to keep your hands forward and dropping the chest into the straight leg, that's a good variation. Wherever your body's at today. Inhaling and exhale. We can then return back. Now stretching out the opposite. Feeling the nice pull. From here, we're going to plant the hands back down. We're going to curl the toe and pop back up on the foot. And we're going to replace. Again, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. By this point in the practice, I usually feel like my down dog is pretty stretched out, and it feels a lot more normal. We're going to inhale the left leg now. And just like the other side, we're going to exhale the knee to the nose and drop the foot between the hands. So just like on the other side, we're going to plant the ankle, or the back foot, you're going to plant it into the ground. And again, we're going to cartwheel the hands and arms open. So again, I make sure that my back ankle is in line with my front ankle. My hips are open to the side of the room, and my hands and arms are outstretched beside me at shoulder level. I make sure that they're not upward near my ears. I relax them down. I bend the knee, making sure that my knee isn't going over the ankle. And my gaze is over the middle finger of my forward hand. Taking some time to sink into the posture. Now, option to stay here in this warrior, or we can drop the front elbow and extend the back arm, again, into side angle. Making sure that I'm trying to make a straight line with my tips of the fingers all the way to the back planted foot, making a side angle. I inhale, rise, back to my warrior. And now I let the back arm down, flip the palm, and raise it high. Exhaling to neutral. Again, we hold. And from here, we can cartwheel the hands back down. Getting our footing, and then we can drop the back knee. Once we drop the back knee, again, we can reach the hips back to stretch out the hamstring. If you want, you can keep the hands planted and the legs stretched. If we want to keep a little bit of a bend in that knee, that's okay as well. Or if you want to move the hands back and extend the leg, that's a good variation, wherever you're feeling the stretch. But again, don't overstretch anything. There should be no pain in yoga. Taking really good inhales and exhales, making sure that our hips are square. Inhaling forward, stretching out that opposite muscle group. And then we plant the hands, we curl the toes, pat up on the back leg, and return to the plank. From here, we do another flow. Taking as long as you need to return to down dog. We're slowly going to inch the hands back up to a flat back. And then exhale to a forward fold. Option to do any variation in forward fold again. You can really bend the knees. You can hug the elbows. You can put the palms under the feet. You can do our previous one where you take the peace fingers around the big toes and bring the elbows out wide, whatever you're feeling in your forward fold today. Really inhaling and exhaling. On our next inhale, we're going to come back up, reaching the arms up high, stretching, and exhaling to mountain. So now I'm going to come to the center of my mat so that you guys can see me a little bit better for our standing postures. But you can stand wherever on your mat if you like. So now we're going to do some trees. So with these, I really want you to center yourself. So taking that deep, filling breath and exhaling it all out as well. We're going to put all of our attention into planting on the right side of our body. So really rooting the right foot into the ground, feeling out all of the corners of the feet, and slowly shifting our weight into this leg. We're going to inhale the arms to the sides like a tightrope walker, and you're going to find something to look at ahead of you that isn't moving. We're going to connect the ankles at first. So this is a variation of tree pose, and you can stay here during the whole time if you want, especially if this is already throwing you a little bit off balance. If you want to continue into the pose in a different variation, you can connect the foot to the mid-calf. Or if it's in your practice, you can inhale the foot all the way to the mid-thigh. I just want you to always avoid that knee joint. Our knees and our feet should not be touching. You do not want to throw out your knee joint. From here, you can inhale the arms all the way up. You can keep them at heart center, which I will probably be doing for video's sake. Or you can make any shape with your hands that you like. Your tree can dance and move. You can be like a massive pine tree and stay still, be a strong oak tree. Or you can be bamboo and be swinging all over the place. All trees are trees. On the exhale, we return the arms outspread. We inhale the knee forward and hold, really focusing on that inner core. And we exhale the foot down. We take some time to jiggle out the knees. And then we recenter and focus all of our energy into rooting into the left sided body. So we really feel out all of the corners of the foot. And then we slowly shift our weight to the left. We inhale the arms up, and we find that special point on the wall or the space in front of us. We connect the ankles to a kickstand, and we can stay here the entire time if we like. Or we can raise the foot to the mid-calf. Or if it's in your practice, you can bring the foot into the mid-thigh, but always avoiding that knee joint. Once you feel stable in your tree, you can bring your hands to your heart. You can grow into branches. You can make different shapes. Your tree can dance and move and sway, or you can stay rooted. When we're ready to come down, we outstretch the arms and bring the knee forward. Again, we hold and really focus on that core. After an inhale, we can exhale the foot down and shake it off again. Okay, so normally I would be standing this way and I would heel toe my feet so that your toes are just off the corner of the mats, but your heels are still on the corner of the mats. We inhale the arms wide and high. And on the exhale, we bring the hands to the heart center and slowly bend the knees. We come down to a yogic squat and really focus on opening up those hips, which is especially important as a student because you're going to find that you're going to be sitting and taking notes a lot and listening to lectures, so hip openers are always nice. We're going to bring our hands to the mat and support ourselves as we come to a seated position. We're going to bring the ankles and the soles of the feet together. And they're going to rest anywhere on the mat that you like. So they can be further away from you, they can be closer into you. It's whatever makes you feel comfortable. We want to make sure that our spine is very long. We're going to inhale and reach up forward. And then on our exhale, we're going to bend at the hips and fold forward. So the really important thing is that I'm bending from the hips and I'm not bending just from the spine. So I'm not rounding my spine when I bend. I'm coming forward from the hips and my chest is still aimed forward. And whenever you feel like your back is starting to fold, just pause there. So if your back's already folding here, we can just hold this pose. If your back is really, really straight, you can hold down on your elbows. Or if you can keep your chest forward the whole way, you can outstretch and reach forward. Wherever you're at today in your practice. We're going to inhale back to neutral, and we're going to extend the left leg forward. So the sole of my right foot comes into the thigh, and the left foot is extended long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to inhale the arms forward, and on the exhale, I'm actually going to shift to the left again. Just like in the beginning of our practice, I'm going to shift to the left and twist. So on the inhale, I rise the spine, and on the exhale, I twist deeper. I inhale and rise up. And on the exhale, I can shift from the hips again and fold forward. I inhale and rise. And now I exchange the feet out. So now my right leg is long. My left sole of the foot is contacting my inner thigh. And I reach the arms up and stretch. On the exhale, I shift to the right. So my front hand can come to the center or the opposite, but my back hand always comes along my spine to support. I inhale and rise up, and I exhale and twist. On the inhale, I return to neutral. And on the exhale, I again shift from those hips, keeping the spine as straight as possible, and then fold forward over the foot. Inhaling to neutral. So next, we're going to extend both feet out. We're going to rise, and then one last time, we're going to do a forward fold. This always tends to be my weakest fold. I don't know why, but it is. So I wonder if it's also your weakest fold, or maybe it's your strongest. Maybe you do this all the time. Let me know. Really focusing on the deep breaths though still. The inhales and the exhales. When we come back up, we can connect the soles of the feet and go slightly lower on our mat. On the exhale, we can support ourselves coming down and laying flat with the soles outspread into supine butterfly. And there's no need to put extra strain on your knees. Just let gravity do the work and it'll bring your knees closer to the ground. Returning to the deep and meaningful inhales and exhales. Inhaling through the nose, through the throat, and deep into that belly space. And then exhaling from the belly, back through the throat, and out the nose. Placing larger attention on the breath. At this point in the practice, if you want to take any final poses or do anything else with your body before our final shavasana, then I encourage you to do so now, such as a happy baby, where you extend the feet up and contact the outer corners of your feet with your hands. You can rock from side to side, massaging out the low back. You can practice extending each leg. Or you can simply extend both feet and let the arms come to the sides. The pinky toes fall to the ground. The feet feel heavy. The legs feel heavy. The hips fall to the earth. The hands beside you. Your arms. Your shoulders are away from your ears. Your head falls heavy. The eyebrows drift away from each other. The eyes fall heavy into the head. The jaw loosens. The tongue relaxes from the roof of the mouth. And the attention goes inwards on the deep inhales through the nose, through the throat, and deep into your belly. Slowly bringing the attention back, bringing movement into the fingers and the toes, rolling out the hands and the ankles. The left arm rises, and we slowly roll on to our left side. The right hand comes to the floor and helps support us back into a seated position. So I want to personally thank the Thrive team for reaching out to me to make this collaboration happen. And I really want to thank all of you for joining with the yoga practice today. It was like a little bit strange for me because I didn't get to experience all of you guys live, so hopefully that'll be happening again soon. But thank you so much for paying attention and being here with me for the last couple minutes, and for also returning to your mat. So the light in me sees, honors, and respects the light in all of you. Namaste. And again, my name is Elyse Aucoin, and I'm a fourth-year student at CCNM. So if you have any questions or want to chat about yoga or anything CCNM, please reach out to me. Yeah, and just thank you again to the Thrive team, and I hope that we can do a lot more things like this and a lot more things centered around yoga and meditation. And I just wish everyone a very positive and wonderful start to this new semester. So thank you so much, and it was great being with you guys today. Bye, everyone.